was very important to bring the spotlight into what's happening in Venezuela and the neighboring countries. We have an enormous crisis, an enormous flow of migrants and refugees, 4.7 million people that are being displaced, and many millions, 7 million people inside Venezuela in need of humanitarian aid. And this is not caused by a natural catastrophe. This is not caused by a war. It's man-made, it's one man-made crisis. And this is very important that it's happening today in Brussels, so the world knows, Europe knows, that this is taking place and is unacceptable. Well, I'm gonna ask your audience one question. When a father has to decide which children he needs to feed tonight because there isn't enough food in the table, when a mother is kneeling down in the garbage looking for food for their children, how awful can it get? How worse can it get? So you have a situation in a country that doesn't deserve, any country deserves to have a situation like this, but Venezuela was a prosperous economy, a strong democracy not far away from now, and not far ago. And today we have people that are dying, that are malnutritioned. We have people dying in hospitals because there is a lack of medicines and a lack of food that it's impacting this flow of people. People aren't leaving the country, and this crisis is not a, they're not leaving because they want to. They're not leaving because they're leaving because the state collapsed on top of them. The problem is that even with all these pledges, it's not enough, because the magnitude of the crisis is way more bigger. And we have a situation that is a crisis that is twofold. We have a situation inside Venezuela and a situation outside Venezuela, in the neighboring countries. So we need to make sure that we attend to the urgent needs of the people in both sides of the border. I strongly believe that this will not be enough. I think that there is a realization of that by the words of Madam Mogherini and Mr. Grandi, and I think that we need to do a lot more. This is just the beginning, and we need to stop the flow of Venezuelan migrants, because at the end of the day, this is what we need to focus on, the urgent matters today, but also on what's happening tomorrow and the months to come. Already we have seen how the flow of the caminantes, of the people that are walking thousands of kilometers to go from one city to the other across the Andean region. We've already seen obstacles on visa requirements from Ecuador and from Chile and from Peru, and Colombia is the only country that it's not yet there. It's a dimension that it's unimaginable. Just think about what it means for a country like Colombia to receive 1.4 million Venezuelans. I mean, just extrapolate that to Europe and imagine, France or Belgium receiving 1.4 million migrants. So this has a huge impact on the neighboring countries. I think that there is a great awareness about that, but we need to do more again, and I repeat it 1,000 times, in order to revert this process, to stop from growing exponentially and to revert it. We need to see the origin of the problem. But it's not about one man assuming office or one team assuming the government. It's about transforming Venezuela. It's about building a transition that leads to reconciliation and set the basis for rebuilding the country and having governability. We have a historic opportunity right now, and I think that the world knows that there is the time now to act and to build the grounds for the future of Venezuela and for the return of migrants, which is something that should be also in the minds of decision makers in Europe.